So hello everyone, welcome to Lakshya. So in this video, we are going to start something called as RTP, that is applicable for September 2025 exams. And by the way, this is the first time where ICAI is giving RTP for an objective paper like economics and QT. So in this video, we are going to discuss what are the questions that were given in the current RTP. Probably there are 25 questions here and there. So we'll discuss each and every question along with their answer. Okay, without wasting time, let's start. So first thing, introduction of the goods and services tax in India primarily aimed to. So what is goods and services tax? That is an indirect tax. So before introduction of GST, there are multiple indirect taxes. Let us say there is service tax, there is something called as value added tax, there is something called as CST, central sales tax, there is octroi, there is entry tax, and many more. So what government did in the year 2017, government removed all the earlier losses, and in that place government introduced a law called as what? Goods and services tax. So what is the answer? Unify various indirect taxes into a single system. So second thing, microeconomics theory studies how a free enterprise economy determines. So what we learned in microeconomics, we learned to determine the price of the goods, price of the services, as well as price of the economic resources. So what is the answer? All of the above. Next, within the relevant range, isoquants. So as I said you in the class, isoquants are similar to indifference curves. So whatever the concept that we learned in indifference curves, the same concept will be applicable in the case of isoquants also. So first thing, isoquants are positively sloped and negatively sloped. That is a negatively sloped. When it is a negatively sloped, what is the shape of the curve? This is called as a convex. And whether two indifference curves can intersect each other? No. In the same way, whether two isoquants can intersect each other? No. So they cannot cross. So what is the answer? All of the above. Okay, now. Fourth one, which of the following is incorrect formula? So first they given us what? Total cost. Total cost means the total cost what is incurred by a firm, how we are going to get cost per unit, that is average cost, multiplied by the quantity. So that is the right answer. Next, sum of marginal cost is equals to total cost. So tell me whether this statement is true or false. This is false because sum of marginal cost is called as total variable cost. Marginal cost means a change. If you remember, there are two types of cost, fixed cost and variable cost. In fixed cost and variable cost, the fixed cost is always constant, that won't change with output. But what is the thing that changes with output? Variable cost. So when I'm talking about marginal, marginal means change in the cost. The cost changes because of the fixed cost or variable cost? Variable cost. So what is the answer? Variable cost. But here they gave what? Total cost. So this is wrong. Total marginal cost, sum of marginal cost is equals to variable cost, just now we discussed, and variable cost plus fixed cost is equals to total cost. This is also correct. So what is the wrong answer? Option B is the wrong answer. The substitution effect will be stronger when, sir, what is the meaning of substitution effect? So substitution effect means as a consumer I can easily substitute one good with the another good. Example, Airtel and Jio are the substitutes, right? So what I can do, if the Airtel network is poor, what I can do, I can easily substitute Jio with Airtel. So there is a chance of substitution or not? Yes. So here they're asking it is stronger when. That means when we can easily substitute. The first thing, when the goods are close substitutes. Sir, what is the meaning of close substitutes? Which is offering the similar features is called as what? Close substitutes. Second option, there is a lower cost of switching to the substitutes. That means if I want to convert from Jio to Airtel or Airtel to Jio, did I need to incur any extra huge cost? No, I just need to purchase a SIM. So the cost should be what? Lower. And there is lower inconvenience while switching to the substitute good. Sir, whether the switching from one network to another network involves various procedures? No, it is an easy procedure. So what I will do, if I'm not satisfied with Airtel, I can easily go with Jio. So answer is what? All of the above. Next thing, price discrimination to be profitable, elasticity of demand in different submarkets will be. Sir, if you remember, we discussed something called as AC Pigo model. price discrimination by ACP code, there are 3 degrees. And what is the last degree? Yes, the last degree is based on elasticities, that is also called as submarkets. In the money submarkets. So what we did, we segregated the submarkets into two categories. One market is based on elasticity, that is elastic. The other market is based on inelastic. If the market is elastic, we are going to charge lower prices. If the market is inelastic, we are going to charge higher prices. That means elasticity of two markets will be same or different? Different. So what is option? Option A. Next thing, according to Hicks and Allen, the demand curve slopes downward due to what? Income effect and the substitution effect. That is a direct question. Full capacity is utilized in the which market conditions? Sir, we are having multiple markets. We are having PC market, monopoly market, monopolistic market, and oligopoly. So PC market is something kind of an imaginary market, whereas these are the imperfect competition markets. Remember always, full utilization can be done only in the case of PC market. There is always under capacity or over capacity in the case of other markets. So what is the answer? Perfect competition. Envelope curve. Envelope curve. In which scenario we discussed? Long run or short run? Long run average cost curve. Sir, what are the other names of long run average cost curve? So long run average cost curve is also called as least cost curve, U-shaped curve. Some cases it is L-shaped curve. It is also called as what? Envelope curve. So option A. 10th one, coincident indicator is not indicated as. That means they're asking in the given options, which of the following is not a coincident indicator? Sir, what is the meaning of coincident indicator? Simultaneous changes we are predicting and cycle is happening. So first thing, inflation. Sir, whether inflation exists in the same time period or after time period, same time period, the price increases in which phase? Expansion phase. The price decreases in which phase? Contraction phase. So inflation is example for coincident indicator. So what is industrial production? When there is more demand, we produce more goods. When there is less demand, we produce less goods. So simultaneous changes. Option B is also example for coincident indicator. What about retail sales? The same with respect to demand. If the sales increases, in which phase we are in? We are in the phase of expansion. If the sales decreases, we are in the phase of contraction. New order for plant and equipment. So what is the meaning of new order? Based on my future sales, I am estimating that my future sales are going to increase. So when my future sales are going to increase, what I need to do? I need to order a machine today itself. But when I'm getting sales today or a future date, that means this is example for which indicator? Leading indicator. So which is the following not a indicator of coincident? Option D, new order for plant and equipment. 11th one, which of the following is not typically used as fiscal policy measure to control inflation? So which of the following is not a fiscal policy? That means they're asking which of the following is a monetary policy. You tell me which is a monetary policy. Interest rates. Option D. Next, in an economy, a change in the reserve ratio will directly affect the. Sir, what happens when reserve ratio increases? Money supply decreases. Reserve ratio decreases, money supply increases. So what is the answer? Supply of money in circulation. Option B. Which of the following is not key assumption of Ricardo's theory of comparative advantage? Sir, what is comparative advantage? There are two countries, country A and B. So in the case of absolute advantage, the trade happens when A is good at one good, B is good at another good. So A will purchase from B and B will purchase from A. But when it comes to comparative advantage, in both the goods, A is very good at producing. Both A and B, A is good, but when it comes to country B, it is not good at producing any of the good. But still, what Ricardo is saying, the trade is going to happen on what basis? On the basis of opportunity cost. But if you see option C, what he said, trade occurs only due to differences in technology between the countries. No, the reason is what? It is due to opportunity cost. But here they mentioned technology. So C is what? Not a key assumption. So answer is what? C. If a country's currency is depreciating, it means that, sir, what is the meaning of depreciating? Sir, $1 equals to 70 rupees. $1 equals to how much? 70 rupees. Then what is the meaning of depreciating? This $1 becomes 90 rupees. That means earlier I need to give 70 rupees for purchasing $1. But today for the same $1 I am paying how much? 90 rupees. That means there is more outflow of the currency or less outflow of the currency. More outflow of the currency. What does it mean? Our currency has been depreciated. So when there is a depreciating currency, what happens? Our exports will become cheaper. Why our exports become cheaper? Because the person who is in a foreign country, he need to pay more dollars or lesser dollars. Lesser dollars. So what they will do? They'll purchase more goods from us. So the exports will become cheaper. So option C. The country's exports become cheaper for foreign buyers, potentially boosting what? The trade. Super. Next, which of the following is a primary objective of India's 5-year plans? So that is a direct question. What is answer? To promote balanced economic growth across all regions. The current account deficit in India refers to the excess of. Sir, if you observe here, they clearly mentioned deficit. So deficit means more exports, so more imports are more imports. So what is the answer? Imports over exports. Okay now. Which of the following is a primary objective of India's monetary policy? First thing, to reduce the overall level of taxation in the economy. Sir, when we hear the word taxation, which policy it is? It is fiscal policy. To control the money supply and curb inflation, this is monetary policy. To promote export-led growth through currency devaluation, this is also monetary policy. To ensure a balanced budget of the government, this is a fiscal policy. That means there are two options, option B and option C. Now tell me which is the correct option, option B or option C, because both are what? Monetary policies. But the question says which is the primary objective. That means option what? Option B. The primary objective of monetary policy is to control what? Money supply and the curb inflation. Okay now, so both B and C are correct, but B is the probable answer. So option B. Okay now, so in the question, in the exam, there are multiple answers which we feel they are true, but it is our assumption, like we need to assume which is the probable answer, even though B and C are correct, but compared with the C, B is the more probable answer, so B is the correct answer. I hope this is clear. Next, which of the following refers to the study of the total or aggregate level of output? Sir, when we hear the aggregate level of output, we are talking about microeconomics or macroeconomics? Macroeconomics. So option C. Firms in an industry that produces a differentiated product. Sir, in the case of PC market, are we going to produce any differentiated product? No. Goods are homogeneous. In the case of monopoly, there is no competition, so there is only one product. Sir, but in the case of monopolistic or oligopoly, there is a competition and the products are what? Differentiated. So what is the answer? They are either monopolistically competitive or oligopoly. The concept of multiplier effect in Keynesian economics refers to. What is the meaning of multiplier effect? 1 divided by 1 minus MPC or 1 by MPS. So what is the answer? The magnification of an initial change in spending throughout the economy. That means we need to add all the changes till it becomes zero. Next. What is the primary method of calculating national income using income approach? Sir, what is the meaning of income approach? Summing up all factor incomes earned by households and firms. That means we need all the incomes. Which of the following is considered a component of M1? Sir, what is M1? Yes, currency in circulation. So then what about M2? M2 talks about what? Saving deposits. So they gave us M1 and they gave us M2. Which of the following is a factor income? Sir, what is the meaning of factor income? Land, rent, labor, wages, capital, interest, and entrepreneur profit. So in the given case, what is the thing we have? We have the profit. So option A. Last one. Which of the following is a common solution to the problem of common resources being overused? Sir, when the resources are overused, who need to intervene? The government need to intervene. So what is the answer? Government regulation. So these are the 25 questions given by ICAI. So it is suggested to go through all these questions once. So I think we covered all the questions. So based on this RTP, what we can predict is we can assume the paper as a moderate thing because there is no such difficulty. Probably 1 2 questions, maybe there is a chance of difficulty, but 95% of the questions they given us straightforward questions. So again I'm telling you, please do follow our material first, then go with the ICA sources. These resources are primarily sufficient. Still, if you are having time, then you may refer the previous mock papers, because anyhow we don't have any previous RTPs. So this is the only RTP we have. So if you want more sources, go with the previous MTPs. But let me tell you, the questions given in MTP and the questions that are asked in the exam, both are two separate things. In the previous attempt, the MTP questions are asked in a very difficult manner, but when we see the paper, the questions are asked in an easy manner. So while referring MTP, don't get panic, don't get stressed. Just see the question. If at all you found the answer, fine. If not, see the answer. Just remember those things. Don't get panic. The paper will be always in a normal format. Don't expect too much of crazy things and all. Just focus on your preparation. All the very best. Thank you for watching.